11 Things I Quit After Turning 60, A Journey Towards a More Fulfilling Life. As we journey through life, particularly after reaching significant milestones like the age of 60, it becomes increasingly clear that our time is precious. How we choose to spend it can greatly influence our happiness, health, and overall well-being. For many, this period marks a time of reflection, reassessment, and intentional change. The habits, commitments, and priorities we held dear in our younger years may no longer serve us in this new phase of life. In fact, for many older adults, letting go of certain things can lead to a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace. Here are 11 profound and transformative things I quit after turning 60, and why doing so has enriched my life in ways I could not have imagined. 1. Quitting work for the sake of working. In our younger years, it's common to get swept up in the grind of working long hours, driven by the desire to climb the career ladder or secure financial stability. However, after turning 60, I realized that working purely for the sake of being busy or out of habit no longer served me. The constant hustle took a toll on my physical and mental health, leaving me feeling drained and disconnected from the things that truly mattered. As we age, the desire to overextend ourselves for the sake of productivity often loses its allure. The wisdom gained through years of experience teaches us that more hours of work do not necessarily mean more fulfillment or success. The endless pursuit of productivity, especially without a meaningful purpose, can easily erode the quality of life. Now I approach work with intention. I ask myself, why am I working these extra hours? What purpose does it serve? If the work isn't contributing to a meaningful goal or passion, I choose to step back. I have learned that time spent simply enjoying life, pursuing hobbies, or spending quality moments with loved ones is far more valuable than endless hours behind a desk. This shift has brought a renewed sense of balance and fulfillment into my life. I no longer chase financial gain at the expense of personal well-being. Moreover, I have embraced the idea that true wealth in our later years is not measured by our bank accounts, but by the richness of our experiences, the depth of our relationships, and the peace we find within ourselves. 2. Quitting mindless spending. In our consumer-driven society, it's easy to fall into the trap of spending money on things we do not really need. For years, I bought items out of habit, or because I thought they would bring me happiness. But as I've aged, I've realized that material possessions rarely offer lasting fulfillment. Mindless spending often stems from the desire to fill an emotional void or keep up with societal expectations. We buy things to make ourselves feel better, only to realize that the satisfaction is fleeting. As I've grown older, I've learned to separate my needs from my wants and to be more intentional with how I spend my money. Now I spend mindfully, only purchasing things that truly add value to my life or bring me genuine joy. Whether it's an experience that enriches my soul or a product that improves my quality of life, I have learned to make more intentional choices with my money. This shift has not only helped me save financially but has also made me more aware of what truly matters. 3. Quitting stressing over the small stuff. Life is too short to spend it worrying about things that ultimately do not matter. In my younger days, I would get worked up over minor inconveniences, traffic jams, disagreements with colleagues, or even something as trivial as a missed appointment. These small stresses, however, add up, creating a constant undercurrent of anxiety. As I entered my 60s, I realized that many of the things I had once stressed over were insignificant in the grand scheme of life. I began to ask myself, will this matter a year from now? If the answer was no, I let it go. Worrying about things outside of my control only drained my energy and robbed me of the joy of the present moment. Now I've learned to let go. I focus on what I can control and accept what I cannot. If a problem arises that's out of my hands, I remind myself that stressing over it won't change the outcome. This mindset shift has been liberating. It's allowed me to focus on what truly matters and to approach life's challenges with a calmer, more grounded perspective. Learning to embrace imperfection and uncertainty has also been a key aspect of this transformation. In the past, I would strive for everything to be just right, but I've come to understand that life is messy and unpredictable. Embracing this reality has brought me a sense of peace. 4. Quitting neglecting self-care. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. In the past, I often neglected my own needs in favor of taking care of others or meeting external expectations. But after turning 60, I've made a conscious effort to prioritize my own well-being. This doesn't just mean physical health, but mental and emotional health as well. I've started meditating, practicing gratitude, and making time for the things that bring me joy. I've learned that when I take care of myself, I'm better able to show up for the people I love and for the life I want to live. Self-care is about recognizing that you deserve to feel good, to be happy, and to live in alignment with your values. By prioritizing myself, I've been able to cultivate a deeper sense of self-worth and contentment. 5. Quitting overcommitting to others. In the past, I often found myself saying yes to things I didn't really want to do, whether it was attending events, helping with tasks, or even spending time with people I wasn't particularly close to. I did it out of a sense of obligation, not wanting to disappoint others. But in doing so, I often neglected my own needs and desires. Saying no has been one of the most empowering changes I've made since turning 60. I've learned that it's okay to prioritize my own well-being and that saying no to others doesn't make me selfish. It simply means I'm being mindful of how I spend my time and energy. After turning 60, I realized that time is a precious and finite resource. I no longer commit to things that don't align with my values or bring me joy. I've learned to politely decline invitations or requests when I feel they will drain my energy rather than replenish it. By doing so, I've created more space in my life for the things and people that truly matter to me. This shift has also allowed me to approach my relationships with greater authenticity. I no longer feel the need to appease others at the expense of my own happiness. Instead, I focus on maintaining meaningful connections with those who truly add value to my life. 6. Quitting maintaining unhealthy relationships. Over the years, I've maintained relationships out of habit, even when they no longer felt healthy or fulfilling. Whether it was with friends, colleagues, or even family members, I often felt obligated to keep these connections alive, despite feeling drained or disrespected. Maintaining relationships that don't serve your well-being is like carrying unnecessary weight on a long journey. It slows you down and exhausts you. After turning 60, I decided to let go of the relationships that no longer brought me joy or fulfillment. This doesn't mean ending friendships with malice. Rather, it's choosing to focus on those connections that are mutually supportive and enriching. Now, I prioritize relationships based on mutual respect, love, and understanding. I no longer force myself to spend time with people who don't add value to my life or who drain my energy. Letting go of unhealthy relationships has been difficult, but ultimately freeing. It's allowed me to surround myself with people who genuinely care for me and uplift me. 7. Quitting neglecting my physical and mental health. For decades, I put my career, family, and various responsibilities above my own health. Like many others, I convinced myself that I'd get to it later. However, turning 60 made me realize that later had arrived, and I couldn't afford to neglect my well-being any longer. The phrase, "health is wealth," may sound cliché, but it carries undeniable truth. As we age, good health is the foundation for living a fulfilling life. Without it, even the simplest joys can become out of reach. In my 60s, I realized that staying active and maintaining a healthy lifestyle is not just an option, it's essential for a vibrant life. I've adopted a regular exercise routine. Simple morning walks have become my daily ritual. Not only do they keep me physically active, but they also offer immense mental clarity and emotional peace. Walking outdoors helps me feel connected to nature, clears my mind, and gives me the space to reflect on life. Additionally, it helps me combat the natural decline in muscle mass and mobility that can occur with age. It's not just about the physical benefits, though. Mental health is equally important. I've learned that taking care of your body is essential to enjoying life as you age. Good health is a gift, and it's one we often take for granted in our younger years. Now, with more wisdom and life experience, I prioritize my health, as it allows me to live fully, free from the limitations that poor health can impose. In addition to physical activity, I've also incorporated practices that nurture my mental well-being. Meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude have become essential parts of my daily routine. These practices help me manage stress, stay present, and appreciate the beauty of everyday life. 8. Quitting procrastination on personal goals. As we get older, time seems to move faster, and the goals and dreams we once had can start to feel like distant memories. For years, I put off pursuing personal projects or adventures, thinking I'd have more time later. But turning 60 made me realize that later isn't guaranteed. I've stopped procrastinating and started taking action on the things I've always wanted to do. Whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to a new place, or simply finishing a long-forgotten project, I'm committed to making the most of the time I have. I no longer wait for the perfect moment because that moment is now. This realization has reignited my passion for life. I've started setting small, achievable goals and working towards them with purpose and determination. Whether it's a new hobby or a long-held dream, I'm embracing the opportunities in front of me rather than waiting for a better time. 9. Quitting the fear of change. Change is inevitable, and yet for much of my life, I feared it. I clung to the familiar even when it no longer served me because stepping into the unknown felt too risky. But as I've grown older, I've come to see change not as something to fear but as something to embrace. Whether it's changes in my health, relationships, or circumstances, I've learned to face them with curiosity rather than dread. Life is a series of transitions, and each one offers an opportunity for growth and new experiences. Embracing change has brought me a sense of freedom and excitement that I never expected to find at this stage in my life. Change is no longer something I resist. Instead, I see it as an invitation to evolve and grow. It's like a new adventure, one that brings with it fresh opportunities and perspectives. 10. Quitting irregular sleep patterns. Sleep was another thing I took for granted in my younger years. I would often sacrifice rest for work, socializing, or late-night TV marathons. But as I've grown older, I've realized that poor sleep not only affects my physical health but also my mood, productivity, and overall well-being. The importance of sleep becomes more apparent as we age. It's during sleep that our bodies repair and rejuvenate, and without adequate rest, we simply can't function at our best. I've made it a priority to establish a regular sleep routine. I aim to go to bed early and wake up refreshed, ready to take on the day. Quality sleep has become a cornerstone of my self-care routine, and it's made a profound difference in how I feel, both mentally and physically. I no longer wake up groggy or irritable. Instead, I start my days with energy and clarity, ready to make the most of the time I have. By prioritizing sleep, I've noticed a marked improvement in my cognitive function, mood, and overall quality of life. The simple act of giving my body the rest it needs has been a game changer. 11. Quitting comparing myself to others. As I've aged, I've realized that comparison is the thief of joy. In my younger years, I often compared myself to others, whether it was in terms of career success, material possessions, or even physical appearance. This constant comparison led to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction. However, after turning 60, I've embraced the uniqueness of my own journey. I've stopped measuring my worth by someone else's standards and started appreciating the richness of my own experiences. I've learned that each person's path is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all measure of success or happiness. By letting go of the need to compare myself to others, I've found greater peace and contentment. I've come to appreciate my life for what it is, rather than what I think it should be based on someone else's accomplishments. Conclusion. Letting go of these 11 things after turning 60 has been a transformative experience. It has allowed me to live more intentionally, focus on what truly matters, and embrace the next chapter of my life with a sense of purpose and joy. For anyone approaching or already in this stage of life, I encourage you to reflect on what you might need to quit in order to live more fully. Your time is precious. Don't waste it on things that no longer serve you. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you find these stories inspiring and motivating, please comment 1. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.